to Silicon Era in a recent interview where they sat down with Tetsuya Nomura. It seems that Kingdom Hearts 3 is planning on having DLC. So they said that the DLC will kind of be released to give updates to the game after the game has been released, because apparently there's stuff they're wanting to add to the game that they're unable to actually go in and fit into the game. Now here's the big problem that I'm having with this right now. Final Fantasy 15. As much as I love Final Fantasy 15, I feel it consistently going in and adding updates the way that that game has really made that game, held back that game from the true potential of what it could be. And with Kingdom Hearts going down that same route, if this is so true, I don't want to jump to conclusions, of course, until we actually kind of start to see what this DLC is going to entail, or what the game's going to be like. But with it coming out, that definitely does have me worried, especially if the game feels like that there are things missing, much like Final Fantasy 15 did, especially if they're going to go in and treat Kingdom Hearts as a games as a service model, and then later on fill in the patches as the game goes on. Kingdom Hearts has kind of always had issues like this. They've always done something along the lines of the final mix versions, but those were released in Japan. We never really thought too much about it until they released them with the 1.5, 2.5 final remixes that they had brought over. And that, of course, gave us some extra cinematics and things like that to enjoy within the game. So when I sat down to play those, it was with my wife because she wanted to play them. She wanted to get into the Kingdom Hearts franchise. So I guess I really didn't mind as much, especially considering it had been so long since I played the originals. I'm like, fine, whatever. I wanted to replay them anyways. But Final Fantasy 15 I have a love-hate relationship with that game because of the way that it went in and treated its DLC, because of the way it did its updates, where it continuously updated the game. You had to continuously go through these different chapters to be able to learn a little bit of extra detail. There just wasn't a way you could go watch the cinematic, move on, and play. And I don't particularly like going through the same segments over and over and over and over, just to finally get that little bit of content or a little bit of extra story that they may be trying to present. It definitely causes a problem, and I can't help but feel like this announcement maybe could be hinting at something like that. Now here's the hopes. I hope that Kingdom Hearts 3 story feels complete, and that the content they're going to be adding to the game only adds to the narrative rather than making it feel like it should have been there in the first place, or that what was being told in these new additional DLC parts were things that should have been in the story in the first place. I also don't want to have to go through and play through long segments of the game just to in turn pick this up. And if that's the way that this game is going to present itself, and we find out before launch that that's the way they're going to do it, much like it has with Final Fantasy 15, I may just end up waiting a couple years to play Kingdom Hearts 3. I may just end up waiting until Square Enix makes that announcement. Yeah, there's officially no more DLC for Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is in a complete state. And then I may actually end up going to pick this up, get all the DLC, and play it that way, because I want a complete story. The problem is with that, my wife is looking forward to playing Kingdom Hearts just as much as I am, so there's definitely that to work with as well. Definitely a big problem right there. As for that, I've waited 12 years for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. What's going to be another couple years, if that's what Square Enix plans to do? I'll get around to playing it eventually, but I really hate seeing Square Enix go down this business model. I really hate Square Enix using DLC like this to add extra story content. I guess we really should have seen the signs with Final Fantasy 13 too, when they started adding DLC the way that they did in there, piecing together some of the other character stories, and the way that that played out, and then adding Lightning Returns on top of that. But if Kingdom Hearts 3 can do this right and make it feel like the game is complete and their scenes are adding to the game, not taking away or making it feel like, wow, this really should have been in the game, I will be completely okay with that. But I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions on this. What do you think about Kingdom Hearts 3 doing DLC? Do you think that is a good idea? Are you with me? As long as it doesn't feel like it's taking away from the content of the story and only adding to the story, you're completely okay with it. Let me know down below. Hit subscribe there for me to keep updated with all of my content. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links are going to be down below in that description box. You guys have been watching Gaming with Spoons, and most importantly, stay happy, be happy, game happy. Spoons is checking out.